7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Hyper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Excuse me. Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning. A little later in the day. Shawn and Maya in the afternoon today. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. I like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, come on, please don't tell me to know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby, what's wrong? We have a mobile app. So wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes or Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zare, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Weebolts, Gold Blast. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. Take us with you on a go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. My man Ken just hit me up. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's Roku channel to your television. Put us there next to all the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Apple, Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Oh, yeah. Today it is, baby. The season premiere, the final season premiere of Raising Kanan, Book 3, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. You know what I'm watching when I get off the show, but I digress. Put us on your TV and watch us on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right, Mickey? Vicky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me. Personally, I want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So listen, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, if you have a question or comment on that platform, it'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on a screen. We'll incorporate into the show. And that, my peoples, so it makes this the best morning, or today, afternoon's Chicago sports talk show around And that's you. So bring them all, bravery, questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody's skirt over here. And like The Rock said, don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. Let's check. Let me check. Oh, what am I doing? What are we doing here? I'm going to check this. Let's check the chat, because the chat was jumping a little bit today. My man Rick Gonzalez checking in early. Said, good afternoon, everyone, and bear the fuck down. That's what I'm talking about, Rick. Baby, bear the F down. Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I mean, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's like, buenos tardes. Buenos tardes. No, nomás aquí, wait. My man Jr. Be smooth in the house. Top of the afternoon, everyone. And Shawn. Mickey Picky TGIF at a snowy day in Chicago. Oh, it's not snowing out here. You know, I'm on the burbs, Southwest burbs. So it's not snowing out here. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh, listen, I don't know a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I can promise you. There we go. Now, we got a great show for you. So at 3:30, my man Glynn Morgan, Chicago Bears draft analyst. Remember, he was on NBC Sports Chicago. He's also one of the co-hosts of the. I want to make sure I get it right. Of Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. He's one of the co-hosts of Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. He's going to join us. We're going to talk all things Bears. We're going to talk NFL scouting combine. We're going to talk. There you go. Oh, snap. The kids is in the building. Dude, that's hilarious. So, want to hear something funny? So, like, how long have I known you? Like, over about a year-ish, Keds? That's all I knew you as was Keds. I had no idea your name was Matthew. Matthew Kedrow. It blew my mind, bro. It blew my mind. He's like, kids. Michelle Wall's like, yo, kids. Dude, Matthew Kedrow. That's classic, dude. I like it. He's like a bit more. Wait, you got a couple of middle names for some aunts, uncles, grandpas, and shit. You know, you part Spanish and have like 5 names: your first name, your middle name, the second middle name, your maternal last name, and then your paternal last name. Now I'm on full government name blast. I can't call you Matt. That's weird. You're Keds. You're not Matts. You're not Matt or Matthew. That sounds weird. Cornelius calls like, yo, kids. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, at 10:30. Talk about creature of habit. At 3:30, my man, Glynn Morgan, draft analyst, is going to join the show. We have a lot to talk, man. We have a whole bunch to talk because there's a lot's going on right now in the NFL. A lot. And the cool part about it is the Bears are in the mix. You know what I mean? I like that. I like the fact that they're in a mix. I like the fact that they're going to be players. They're going to be players. Patty Lauer's checking in. Happy Mickey Ficky TGI Friday, Shawn. Thank you, Patty. I like the fact that the Bears are in on everything that they want to be in on. That's the cool part. Sometimes you need to be in on things, and you just can't. You just can't. All right, salary cap issues or whatever. The Bears aren't in that situation. That's the cool part. The Bears are in any situation they want to be in. Any situation they want to Mickey Ficky be in. Rick Gonzalez, we're getting old as a team, but I like it. I hear you, Rick. But not only are we getting old, but we're getting experienced as a team. Because these guys are 32, 33. They got about 2 to 3 years left. In that time frame is when we draft their replacements. In that time frame. Because next year we're not going to go into the draft needing offensive linemen. So you know what we go draft? Offensive linemen. That's when you go draft offensive linemen. When you don't need them. Because we have these guys. All right, we have these guys, and now we can have these talented guys underneath, but behind them, learning from them, watching them. So yes, we are getting older, but also, Rick, we're getting better. We are getting experienced, and that's what I like. That's what I like. You know, there's a couple other people that got released today. We're going to talk about that. And surprising, one of the people that got released is a monster. And they're asking peanuts for this particular person. So I need you to find out. I want to know if you think the Bears should be in on this guy for the peanuts that they're reportedly asking. This guy's a stud. He's a disruptor. And they're asking for peanuts for this guy. So I want to talk to you guys and see if you think it's worth the investment and giving up draft capital for this guy. Talk Bulls. Bulls with a big win yesterday. Kobe White snapped yesterday. I love it. Sox Cubs. That game is supposed to be happening now, but it's kind of not. Someone said it was canceled. I don't know. Was it due to rain? Is that what it was? What it is? I don't know. They're getting it in. Crosstown Classic Desert Edition. It's going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. So we got a lot to talk, baby. We got a lot to talk. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. Like our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to tell us. Got a lot to get into. So let's get it on, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
So I had a quick snack, a quick bite. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't fast enough. Let me see. Rick, you ain't never lied, buddy. So no one has the 10 spot down like the Bulls. You're damn right. King Book of World checking in. Good stuff, Papa. Thought I missed the show this morning. No, I completely forgot to mention it on Wednesday. I had a meeting again. Had an appointment on Wednesday that I could not change. So, but I'm glad you're able to make it, Papa. I'm glad. The Bulls 10 spot masters. You ain't lying, dog. You ain't lying. Well, let's get right to it. Let's see where we go. First top of the morning topic. We'll bump it. Let's start with them. Do it. Do it now. Do it good. Do it like you know you should. The Bulls. Man, big time onions. Bulls beat the Orlando Magic yesterday. 125-103. Kobe White led the way with a career high. Career high. See, that's what I'm talking about. Career high for Kobe. 44 points. Let me tell you something. Kobe was on fire. 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 And, man, it was awesome. Awesome to see the way Kobe played yesterday. 44 points. He was 16 for 28 from the field. 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. 5 rebounds and a helper. Great game by Kobe White. Josh Giddey. Let me take a step. Didn't I tell you I didn't really like Josh Giddey when they got him, they acquired him? He seemed like a little soft, a little crybaby, a little whiny ass, little biat. All this guy does is flirt with triple doubles every game. Josh Giddey was behind Kobe White, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. Kevin Huerter, 13 points, 3 for 7 from beyond the arc. Trey Jones, he contributed 20 yesterday in a winning cause. And Montes Buzelis, 11 points, 5 boards, 2 helpers. Big win for the Bulls. Tomorrow, the Bulls travel down to the 305 to face the Miami Heat. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Net Plus or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Next topic yesterday, the good guys. White Sox. Yeah. White Sox had another rough day. Springtime, they fall to the Giants 7-3. James Cannon, he got the loss. He's 0-1 with 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs. No walks, 3 punch-outs. Hackenberg was 1-for-1 with a homer, his second of the season, driving in his third and fourth runs of spring. Omar Narvaez was 2-for-3 with an RBI, his first of the springtime. And today, the White Sox were to be hosting the Cubs at Camelback Ranch. First pitch was supposed to be at 2:05. You could have watched that game on CHSN, Chicago Sports Network, or listened to it on their flagship station, AM 1000, ESPN 1000. But the game has been postponed, and someone said canceled. I just saw postponed. Yeah, my White Sox suck. My White Sox suck. It's postponed. Yeah, the game is canceled. Good job. Someone says I got the official thing. Cornelius says, I like the way Giddey fills up the statue. So do I. But I'm telling you, I didn't think he had that in him. The kid's only 22. Let's go keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic yesterday, the Cubs. Man, the Cubs, they fall to the Kansas City Royals, 9-3. And Brown got the loss. He's 1-1 in the spring with 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 5 punch-outs. Workman, 1-for-1, hitting his 3rd homer of the spring, driving in his 10th and 11th runs of springtime. PCA, Patrick Crow Armstrong, he was 2-for-3 with a double, his 4th of the season. As I said, the Cubs were to be taking on the Sox at Camelback Ranch, 2:05. You can listen to that on 670. But as we said, the game was initially postponed, was initially delayed, and now it is postponed. So, no soup for you. Next top of the morning topic. The Blackhawks, baby. Cold steel on ice. The Blackhawks host the Utah Hockey Club tonight at the United Center for the first time. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. What we're saying. Sox fan forever, baby. Man, me too, man. It's I think that's a good way to put it, Team Booker World. Said love the Sox, hate the owners and management. Rick Gonzalez co-signs, says agreed. Amen, Booker. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough dealing with them jokers. Listen, the Bears made a couple of moves. Next top of the morning topic. The Bears extended. Let me get rid of this. Bears extended Josh Blackwell. Special teamers, 2 years, $5 million. He's a key special teams player. And it's nice. It's a nice piece of change for him. I'm happy for him. He's one of those guys. He's a special teams ace. And you need people, you need players like that on your team. You need them. They have to be on your team. And us extending him. See, we got it in the open of my show. You see they show you Devin Hester's return in the Super Bowl. Let me take this down. They show Devin Hester's return to the Super Bowl. The one thing that you don't look at are the blockers. All right, Devin Hester is in the Hall of Fame, has the most kick returns for a touchdown in the history of the NFL. But he's the first to tell you he couldn't do it by himself. And you got the Brendan Iamodezes, the Corey Grahams, those type of players who relish their role, as special teams players. Because you only get a handful of special teams plays. And you got to make it happen on those things. Oh, you're talking Brendan Iamodezes, Rick, good old number 94 on special teams was a beast. Brendan Iamodezes. Yeah, he was ripped too. And that's exactly what Josh Blackwell is. He's one of those special teams guys. All right, he's the guy who the punt, DJ Moore. When everyone saw DJ Moore back, going away from the punt to the left side of the field, everybody's following him. Josh is running down the right side of the field, almost to the goal line, catches it, runs it back untouched. That's Josh Blackwell. Josh Blackwell. So it's imperative that we have those type of guys, and when you find those type of guys who embrace that role, you're rewarded. The special teams at third phase is so important, as we know, having Devin Hester. We know. All right, of all teams in the NFL, Chicago should know because we had Devin Hester, the guy who could flip the field, the guy who could take it to the house from any point. He took it back 108 yards, 109 yards. He took it one time, the kickoff from, was it Washington? I don't remember. We caught it literally at the goal line, the back of the end zone, and ran it back. Was it the Giants? I don't remember. Yeah, King Booker World talking about Josh Blackwell. He jogged that mug in. Yeah, he did. He didn't have to speed up and do anything because everyone was over on the left side. Thought DJ was fielding the punt. So it's good to see that they're paying and rewarding the guys who do the grunt work. What do you say, King Booker World? The unsung heroes of the squad. Yes. 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 Bears made another move yesterday as well. The Bears signed tight end Durham Smythe to a 1-year deal. Durham Smythe has history with Ben Johnson. It's a Notre Dame tight end. Him, Cole Kmet, and I'll just go draft another one. Or go sign another one. I'm going to draft a free agent on Notre Dame. have the whole tight end room be Notre Dame tight ends. Not very prolific. He was more of a blocking tight end. Because Ben Johnson likes to run the ball, so he was more of a blocking tight end. Rick says Tillman was on those special teams back in the day. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And that's one of the reasons I really love Peanut Tillman. His selflessness. He's like, I don't care. 11 best guys out there for the punt return, punt block, whatever it is. I'm out there. Punt coverage, whatever he needed. I loved it. Yeah, two tight end set, one for the line and one to go out for passes. Yeah, literally it. That's literally it. Well, listen, here's what we're going to do. That was quick. Oh, that was real quick. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to jump into some conversation, some Bulls conversation, baby. Bulls with a big win yesterday. We're going to talk about that. Talk a little free agency in spring training as well as in this next segment, the next half hour until 3:30. We welcome our guy Glynn Morgan, Bears draft analyst. All right. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Listen, What's so beautiful about the coaching staff that we put together is I didn't hire a bunch of my friends. I went outside of my circle on purpose because I wanted to collect a different mix of experience, of energy, ideas, and we're all going to make it come together, and it's going to be the Chicago Bears going forward. And so it can look a number of different ways. Eric Bieniemy's got a lot of experience in the gun run game and what they did in Kansas City, obviously. And Declan has a lot of success from the Sean Payton tree, and Press Taylor has a lot of success from the Chip Kelly all the way on. And so we've got a lot of library, if you will, to draw from, and we'll see it all come together once we get our hands on these guys.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That's our man. That is the man, Ben Johnson, at the Scouting Combine, talking about the staff. And I want to get into the Bulls. You know, first of all, if you saw in that mental health PSA, Kevin Herter, I forgot what team he was on back then, but he's on the Bulls now, was in that commercial, in that PSA. That was pretty dope. The Bulls are in basketball hell. Not even purgatory, hell. You're just in the middle. They were supposed to just start tanking because they want to try and get a shot at Cooper Flag. This young team that they have together now, after the draft, after the players that were acquired, this young team is playing well and they're exciting. They're not tanking. They are not tanking by any stretch of the imagination. You can't ask them. The only way it's in full-fledged mode is once Billy Donovan starts playing Julian Phillips 30 minutes a game. Then you know it's in full-fledged tank mode. But he's not doing that. He's not doing that. This team is fun to watch. They're exciting. Kobe White dropping 44 yesterday. 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. Kobe was in his bag. But let's not forget Josh Giddey flirted with a triple-double again. Again. Seems like every freaking time I go over a Bulls game, Josh Giddey's flirted with a triple-double or got a triple-double. 19, 13, and 9 yesterday. The energy. Trey Collins. What's his name? Not Trey Collins. Was it Trey Collins? Anyway, him. This team, Trey Jones. I don't know why I said Collins. Trey Jones. Zach Collins is the dude. I'm liking him a lot. I am liking Zach Collins a lot. I mean, as I say that, as he has 3 points, 2 rebounds, no assists. But he only played 12 minutes. I wonder if did he get hurt? Taylor Horton Tucker, Chicago's very own, Simeon's very own. Good game the day before, or the game before, yesterday. 3 points, 1 board, 1 assist. Come on, man. This team is young and they're exciting. Don't get me wrong. They're not very good. I think they're 14, 15 games under 500 now. Or no, 13 after yesterday. But they're exciting. Matas with 11. Is that right? 11, yeah. Billy knows it can coach young teams, young players. which is why he was so good in college. So we need some more young players that Billy can coach them up and watch them develop. Because I need these guys to develop. We've seen development from Io, who's out for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. He had surgery. We've seen development from Kobe White. Still haven't seen development from Patrick Williams. But I like the development of these guys, and I want to see it continue. I can't wait to see the development of Matas. Matas Buzelis is going to be one heck of a basketball player. And see, people talk about this, and Kendall said this perfectly. When Kendall said, we have our Cooper Flag. Everyone's like, no, Cooper Flag is this, Cooper Flag's that. Look what he's doing. He's averaging this. Those are against college players. Those are against college players. Mostly scholarships, some not. Some guys who are never going to sniff the league. Matas is doing it in the NBA now. Now. And he's got no reservation whatsoever. No hesitation. He ain't scared. Nothing. He's a young man who's ready to roll. He's a young man who's brimming with confidence. And the thing I like it, he knows he's going to mess up, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's part of his development, and he knows it. There you go. Part of his development, and he knows it. And he's cool with it. That's the part. So this Bulls team, tomorrow, where are they at? 305. That's right. They're in MIA. They're in Miami tomorrow. Probably flew out there last night. Shoot around yesterday. Yeah. Well, there's something you'd want to see from this Bulls team any more? From this team now. Not talking about who we draft and everything else. No. King Booker Will says, what did I say before the season started? The best 30-35 win team in the NBA. Exciting. And they're very exciting. They need a little more talent, a little more maturity. By maturity, I mean gelling. They need to gel. They need to do that. They need some continuity, some familiarity with each other. But I like this team a lot. I would like a couple more bigs, a couple more athletic bigs. But again, I like Zach Collins. Obviously, we got Matas, Vooch. Okay. But give me some athletic bigs. Okay? Give me some athletic bigs who run up and down the court. In addition to Matas. Because Matas will run up and down the court. He's a rim protector. Plays defense. Great help defense. Oh, King Booker World, yes, you asked a question when we went into the break. It said, yo, is it true that Allen got released from Washington? Yes, it is. Yes. Go back to the Bulls. They're very guard heavy. So the question is, I think is about Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey before the season said he wanted $30 million. And I think that pissed off a lot of people. It pissed me off. And that was part of the reason I didn't like his game. I'm like, nah, I bumped this buster. Dude's a chump. Not a chump. King Booker World says too many point guards. Too many guards. I mean, you got Lonzo Ball, who you just extended. Josh Giddey. Adusumu, Kobe White. I don't know, you call Julian Phillips a guard? Who else? Jalen Carter. Jameer Young. What's this guy's name? Oh, he's a forward. Oh, Jennings was forward. Yeah, so that's 6 or 7 guards. I didn't say Trey Jones. There you go. There's 7. 7. They need a power forward. P. Won't is a powerless forward. And that's what I'm talking about. They need. I really would like the NBA to get back to some of the traditional roles. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. I really would. I want to see the skill set. I want to stop seeing people drive to the hole and kick it to the corner. Tired of that nonsense. Tired of it. Go to the hole, dump it in low to the big man. Let the offense run through the big man. While the big man is dribbling, trying to get his shot off, there's screens and people are moving around the outside of the circle. And if the big man can't get it in, can't get a good shot off, he'll hit you coming off a screen. Shawn says, Giddy worth about 20 to 20. Oh, okay. And he said 20 to 25. He meant 25. So 20 to 25 mil, not 30. Yeah, I agree. I'd give him 25. You keep flirting with a triple double every Mickey Ficky game. Yeah, I'm. How can you not? How can you not? You can justify 20, 25 mil if this guy's averaging close to a triple double for the season. You can easily justify it. But 30? Yeah, I think that's a little rich. I think 25 is on a high end. 25 is on a high end. When he came out and said he wanted 30, again, it turned people off. It turned me off. And I'm like, yeah, bump you. Bump you. This dude's a baller. Grant, still not a great defensive player, but he's getting better defensively. All right, he plays help defense. He gets hands in the passing lanes. Active hands. What you want from a point guard, active hands. Oh, my man. My nephew, Armando Emeterio Lara, the third. What? What are you saying? He said the Bears are posting Mac highlights. I don't know. Is the Twitter page, their Facebook page, their Instagram page? What page is it that they're posting? Because we got to talk about that today. We got to talk about that today. Talk a little baseball real quick. It said the Cub Sox were supposed to play today at Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. It was raining out there. See, Arizona people are freaked out. Like now it's a lot different because they're used to rain, but they're really not used to rain. It's a desert. So whenever it rains, they're like, oh, everything stops. But I would have liked to see it. I like the pitching staff this young pitching staff the White Sox have. All right. I like this young staff that they have. Jonathan Cannon. All right, was one big guy. Noah Schultz, Hagen Smith, And according to Chris DeLuca from the Chicago Sun-Times, Noah Schultz and Hagen Smith are reassigned to the minor league camp. And Jake Eder and Jairo Iriarte, they got option to AAA. Is it because they're not ready? My question is, are you babying them by optioning them to AA and AAA? Are you protecting them? Because here's the thing. Obviously, you don't want to just throw guys to the wolves. You don't want to do that. But also, you do want to challenge these guys. So now, are you starting them down there to begin with? Say, hey, look, let me light a fire under your ass. You're in AAA. You're two in triple. You two are in double. You want to get to the show? Well, I need you to bust some ass. I need you focused first few starts. Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing? Because I would like to see those guys in the show. And you're going to take your lumps. Guess what? It's the major leagues. You're going to take your lumps. However, you're going to gain experience. Experience is something you just can't pay for. Can't do it. Won't do it. But the Sox have some nice arms. My nephew Mondo says Schultz is nasty. Yeah. Oh, Rick Gonzalez says, yeah, it is on Bears Twitter. The first play they showed was Mac. It said a shitload of Mac highlights. Are they in deep conversation with Mac? I know a lot of you people. I know my nephew Mondo would be happy as a pig and slop if they signed Khalil Mack. I'm looking at this. Yeah, I don't see it, but I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there. Mono said he's coming home. All right. I haven't seen it. I didn't get a memo. I'll get on Twitter now, you can the ESPN guys, the writers, you can get those alerts whenever they post something. Yeah, I got Adam Schefter. He hasn't nothing yet from Adam Schefter. Okay, here it is. It says leave your legacy. Yeah. And then they showed his first game as a Bear. He was destroying in that first half. Let's talk about real quick. Let's go over the Cubs. Let's talk about them. Talked about the fact that I believe they're in a great situation. I think they're in a really great situation. I think they should win this division. It'll be tough, but they should win it. If they play good fundamental baseball, it won't be close. It won't be close. Cubs are extremely talented. The relief pitching is what I'm worried about as well. But the Cubs are very talented. You got enough bats in the lineup. I'll tell you this, I bet you wish you had Cody Bellinger back, don't you? Bet you wish you had Cody Bellinger back. Imagine that lineup. That's a new edition of Murderer's Row. depending on how Swanson does, you got Kyle Tucker. You would have had Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson, but then you don't really know what Dansby Swanson you're getting. I would say, you know what, you put Matt Shaw like in the middle of those. Get Matt Shaw some protection. He's going to get some pitches because he was around. He would have been around some of these studs, or they would have been around him. And you're going to pitch to a rookie. I'm anxious to see how Matt Shaw plays. I'm anxious to see what are the things that I would love to see. I'd love to see a rookie understand the mistakes that they're going to make. Like, I'm going to make them and say it. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm going to make mistakes, but you know what? I'm going to keep trying. A lot of times they want to come out of the gate fast and furious, and they want, 10 homers and 35 RBIs in the first month. Like, chill. Not just saying the Cubs rookies, I'm just saying just rookies in general. You have to understand that baseball is they take the long game. Mondo says, I'm okay with Belly being gone still. I want PCA and Bush to play every day. Okay. PCA. The great part about PCA is this: he can beat you with more than just his bat. He's got phenomenal defense. He's amazing on the base paths. Just get him on. You get him on, it's a double. For all intents and purposes, it's a double. Okay? For all intents and purposes, if PCA gets on, it's a double. And that's what you need. You need guys like that. You need people. That's old school fundamental baseball. When a guy's on, you know he's gonna steal. It takes the focus. It takes the focus off the pitcher. Because I'm worried about this guy, especially if he's a left-hander. And I'm looking right at him. Well, I shouldn't say especially, but if you're a right-hander, you're looking over your left shoulder. Keep looking. And that's taking away your focus from the batter. Mono says, as long as Shaw can hit 220 and not throw the ball to Lake Michigan like Christopher Morel did, it's a success in my eyes. Do you see someone having a phenomenal breakout year this year for the Cubs? Do you? If you do, let me know who you think it could be and why. There's a lot of Cub fans here in the chat. Who do you think could have a breakout year for the Cubs that might be off, under the radar right now? Is it PCA? Is it Michael Bush? Is it Workman? Who do you think has a kind of a breakout year for the Cubs this year, if anyone? If anyone. You don't need someone to have a breakout year to have a great year. Everyone can play to the back of the baseball card numbers, and you can have a good year. Just hit your averages, and you'll have a good year. This team will have a good year. There's a lot to like about this Cubs squad, Cub fans. A lot to like. Obviously, you got PCA, Ian Happ. Mono says, I think Ben Brown's the dark horse to have a breakout year. Who was really good last year before he hurt his neck. Okay. Baseball should be fun. I already got my notices from my guy Hirsch. Big shout out to Hirsch Mosqueda, even though he is a Chiefs fan. He's been one for a long time. Not a bandwagoner. Got opening day for him. Got the output outing, another one. He's got a crosstown at Wrigley. So I don't have to give Jerry Reinsdorf any of my money. Bump him. And the crap you've been putting out, you've been trotting out on that field for years. Then you finally get the team and you go get an old manager who can't manage anymore. But I digress. I'm not bitter. Really, I'm not. Because, I love me my White Sox, man. I love me my White Sox. Man, moms used to take me to Old Comiskey. My mom, my tia Lola. When I first went in the shower in center field. Who's old enough to remember the Old Comiskey? They had the shower. They had this little shower. You go in center field, in the bleachers, pull the handle. They had a shower out there. And I love baseball. It's just a different vibe. Living in Chicago's a fast-moving city. Why we're running. We're ripping and running. Go to a baseball game, you chill. You chill. Junior's like, I remember the shower. Dude, that was awesome. Yep, the stream shower. Yeah, in center field. That was dope. That's why I love baseball, because it got us a chance to chill. We used to go with my friends when I was a youngster. We used to walk. We had a walkathon from St. Rita, which was on 63rd and Claremont, 63rd and one block east of Western. So 63rd and Western, we walked down Western from 63rd to 35th and then walk across 35th to the stadium. Every year, there's a walkathon. I love me some White Sox. The owner just don't love us back. That's the Mickey Ficky problem. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man, Glynn Morgan, Bears draft analyst, one of the co-hosts of the Easy Smoke and GM podcast. We got a lot of Bears to talk. We're going to talk Trey Henderson. We're going to talk Jonathan Allen. We're going to talk Bosa. We're going to talk Mack. Talk a lot of people. We getting any of those sweepstakes? Well, fine. Glynn's going to tell us what he would do on the other side of the break. So keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the number one rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Yeah, I think we want to be an attacking, aggressive style of defense. I think we want to take the fight to the offense and not let the offense dictate the tempo to us. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to challenge everything. We're going to play the game the right way. We're going to play it tough, physical, brand of football. And I think the brand of football that you come to expect at the Chicago Bears. The answer to the question is, yeah, I took a look a little bit at the pieces on defense. I felt like there were some pieces in place. In particular, I think there's some things that we have to have in the secondary that I like. I think there's some pieces at linebacker that I'm encouraged by. I think there's a couple of spots up front that I feel like we've got some players. So I think the foundation is there defensively. And I think.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That's Dennis Allen. He's our new defensive coordinator. That's in his intro presser. He's talking about the defense and what he sees, what he likes. That video courtesy of the Chicago Bears. Folks, my guest, a good friend of the program. Can't wait to holler at him, get his thoughts. Chicago Bears draft analyst. He's one of the co-hosts of the Easy Smoke and GM podcast. You can find him on Twitter at True Glynn Morgan. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Glynn Morgan. Glynn, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, man? How's everything?
No, I'm just trying to be like you, Papa. Trying to be like you, dog.
What, old and grizzled? Old and grizzled? Is that what you're going for? The grizzled look? This is the off-season look right now.
Yes, sir, Bob. That's the look I'm going for. Oh, man, a lot's going on. Holy sheesh.
Yeah, man, dude, can you believe the White Sox? Man, I'm really pumped for this next. That's not what you brought
too.
up. You're not talking about the White Sox? I thought
we'll talk about them later sometime.
Oh, okay.
Later. Not right now.
No, okay. All right. Fair enough.
So, yeah, I'm liking – give me your thoughts on – I'm liking the Tooney signing. Give me your thoughts on the Josh Jackson signing, because I wasn't as high on it as some people, and I want to hear your take on it.
I'm usually a bad news person first. I'll get that out the way. On the downside, he had a bit of an injury issue this past season. So you're concerned as fans, as the organization, are you entering another tevinjenkins type situation where you might find someone who has continuous injury issues? You don't want to have that, the trade for that. You want to bring that additional issue, because that's something that we've been dealing with tevinjenkins and a couple other linemen, but specifically him over the last.
He played less games than Tevin. Tevin played 39 games in the last 3 years. He's played 29.
Hence my point. So that's a bit of the downside aspect of it. Upside, you have someone who understands the offense, presumably, and someone who can help the other players around him with the understanding aspects of the scheme, so they can gel a little more quickly. So that part's good. And someone who's worked with Ben, and Ben who obviously has worked with him as well, Ben being the head coach. So that part is good. You have someone who's young enough that you think that, maybe last year was just more of an anomaly injury-wise, and hopefully that's past and beyond him, and with your strength and conditioning and whatever, that, you can positively look to the upside. That being the case, bringing him in still means to me you still need to draft an interior offensive lineman. But at least, if nothing else, it gives you quality depth and someone that can help in the room. You need those adults in the room, those guys who understand what's going on in the room. So that's where I see it being a positive.
Here's what I said after they made these moves. This is what good teams do. Now you go draft good offensive linemen.
Exactly.
Now you go draft good offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, because you don't need them, because they're these guys are 32, 33 years old. They got a good two 2 years left. Maybe it got, maybe a good 3, a solid third. But at that point, now you're ready for the transition. These guys sit. There's always something to be said. And when I say sit, don't think I mean they're going to sit and watch. They're going to get a series here. They're going to get a series there throughout the game. And then now you have tapes where you can actually talk to a veteran, an all-pro, and say, "Hey, what did you see? What can I do better?" And now you have the transfer of power, or that you're passing the baton. Like, was it who's the guy in Philly with Kelsey? It wasn't Wegman. It was something else. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, the transitions is smooth, and this is what the Bears. Glenn, I don't know about you, but the Bears are acting like they know what the hell they're doing.
Presumably. They acted that way last year, and I think that was born, and I've mentioned it time and time again, born of my word for the day last year or last season was hubris, a bit of arrogance. And that's exactly what I was talking about that Poles did not do for Caleb. He didn't have that veteran in the room to help him understand what's happening on the field, someone who he can speak with, relate to, have some type of relatability as to how to handle what's actually happening real time on the field, as opposed to schematically of what's being drawn up. And just as you pointed out, having these veteran offensive linemen can do that for the guys that are currently on the team and for any that they may draft. And that's important because that's, again, as you mentioned, that's what good teams do, but it's more about creating that, and I hate the word because it's been overused so much, creating that culture. You're creating a culture amongst offensive line. Every culture has its own little, content room, so to speak. There's a culture that's different from the defensive lineman than the offensive lineman, secondary than from the running backs. Quarterback room is different than the linebacker room. But all those, mini content rooms with content teams can together, if you have them collectively build towards having something that is sustainable. And that's what you want. That's what good teams have. And we have not, the Bears collectively, haven't done that. It's always every other year, something's constantly changing and being reworked. And it's hard to create that continuity to develop a consistency enough to have a team that can compete week in and week out. So, yeah, it looks like right now, it looks like they have an idea of what they want to do. And a lot of that may be the Ben Johnson influence. And if that's the case, then bring it on.
We're at number 10.
Yes, we are.
All right. Free agency.
Again.
It's like the Bears and the Bulls. They love the number 10.
Right, exactly.
We're at number 10. We're not done at free agency. There's a lot of talk about the Drew Dahlman situation, center from Atlanta.
They should do that.
So my question to you is this. You get Drew Dahlman.
Mm-hmm.
You just upgraded your 2 guards.
Mm-hmm. Presumably,
yeah. As long as Jonah Jackson
stays healthy.
Stays healthy. What do you do at number 10? If you're the GM, you are GM. You're Glynn Morgan.
Yes, I am.
But you're not the Bears GM. What would you do at 10? Are you looking? Could you open the door to Ashton Genty? Do you still stay fixing the Hogs? What do you do at 10? Even if you do sign Drew Dahlman?
It's so funny. I had a dream/nightmare a couple of days ago, and I thought it was effing real that the Bears drafted Gentry. And I had to call one of my coworkers, be like, dude, you were right. I was wrong. I can't believe it. They took Alvin. Oh, my God. What is going on here? Then I realized after having that cold sweat of a dream that it really was just a dream and not a nightmare born in a real sense. No, you do not have to draft Alvin. This is one of the deepest running back classes in my 50 years, and I don't mean that lightly. I mean all 50 years of me watching football. Deepest class I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that there's like so much talent at the top. It's just like throughout. There's just, you can get potentially a starting running back in free agency. That's how deep this class is. You can get a starting running back that can be your workhorse in the 6th round, and then maybe a couple of guys like that. You can get the type of running back you need, whether it's receiving back or power back or a hybrid back that can do both. All of those are available, and there's more than one of those kind of guys in this draft class. So you do not need to take a running back at 10. You still have other issues. I would still take an offensive lineman. I would hope someone like Armin, I'm going to pronounce it. Thank you. Membu would be available out of Missouri. I really like him. I think he brings that physicality
Brings an attitude. You heard him running this 40. Like, Dude, I thought I was watching Black Panther when the guys were coming down from the mountaintop. It's like, damn, okay.
Yeah, the men from the mountain. They've looked down below and they are not pleased. I like his intensity. I think he brings the physicality in run blocking as well as pass protection, something that unfortunately Braxton's had a difficulty in dealing with physical edge rushers who, again, convert that speed to power, and he's unable to handle that. I don't think Mimbo would have that issue. I think it allows Braxton to be that interchangeable offensive lineman that you can use, that flex lineman you can use inside or outside. I think it gives an athleticism and it continues and presents an athleticism with depth that the Bears probably need to have, considering the type of skill talent they have on the team, considering the athletic quarterback you have, who has a tendency to roll left and right with equal aplomb to be able to throw the ball. I think having athletic linemen like that helps. It helps with your screen game. It helps on so many levels when you have athletic linemen who can get upfield, who are physical, and they can either power block or they can have enough athleticism and they're agile enough to get out there and get to the second level blocking the linebackers or set up screens and able to get downfield to help with downfield blocking too. So I would go in that route. If Will Campbell, if he falls, he may fall because the short arm thing comes out. And if that's the case, okay, whatever. Will has a versatility. You can move him inside as well. And we've seen Joe Thuney, we've seen him be able to play as left tackle throughout the last part of the season. So if you have interchangeable athletic offensive linemen, which it seems as though the Bears may be going in that direction, I think that presents enough versatility and enough problems potentially for the defense to have to contend with, because you don't necessarily know if, where, and how the Bears are running or passing the ball. And I think Ben Johnson is creative enough to be able to utilize that, something that has been sorely lacking. Remember those 50 years I told you about? Yes, it's been sorely lacking for quite some time. And so yeah, I would go offensive lineman. That being said, I think there are enough offensive linemen that potentially, if you do trade down a bit in the first round, say maybe between 15 and 17, you may still be able to get someone like a Josh Simmons. He may be available there. There may be another lineman that you can possibly get. Or if you, by getting Dahlman, you feel really good about, at least your starting unit, so to speak, there can be that edge rusher that can make a difference that's available. And again, this is a draft class that is deep in edge rushers as well. I would say, throughout running back, edge rusher, defensive line, and to some extent, I think your offensive linemen are pretty solid. And I think the receiving class, although not as spectacular as last year's, I think there's still some quality receivers. And I still believe with Ben Johnson, you might want to focus on a really good slot receiver. And I really like that guy, Jalen Noel out of Iowa State. He is dangerous. I mean, he is electric. His ability to track the ball over either shoulder, his physicality in terms of running routes and getting through arm tackles, I like a lot. His physique fits that classic slot receiver mold. But if not him, someone like Deontay Thornton out of Tennessee, and we know how much Poles is like University of Tennessee and the athletes out of there. Someone like him, he gives you a little more size, a little more length, 6'5", 205, whereas Jalen's more like 5'10". Ironically enough, Deontay Thornton's actually faster. He runs a 4.3 flat, and Jalen's more like a 4.39. But again, I think Thornton is a little more developmental, so to speak. But in the slot, you can help him along in terms of the responsibility of a lot of things isn't on his shoulders as much as it would be on the two starting wide receivers. But I think all that to say, and I'm going through a whole bunch of stuff. What I'm saying is, at 10, you still have some flexibility, whether you take an offensive lineman or trade down a little bit to maybe imbue your draft order with a little more draft picks, a little more draft capital.
Give me your thoughts of the chances of Mason Graham falling, because there's been a lot of talk about Jackson darting, pun intended, getting into that top 10.
Yeah, that's possible.
People love quarterbacks, and you still got an edge rush. And don't forget that's 3 quarterbacks. Then you still got Travis Henry. That's 4.
Hunter.
Okay. Who did I say? Travis Henry, the running
back. Out of Tennessee. Love him. Big fan. Go Vols. All day.
Yeah, you got Travis Hunter, so that's 4 people.
Right.
Okay, so if Mason Graham is there, is that just a done deal? Grab him?
If he is there at 10, I have a hard time passing on him. I think with your second round pick, you can at 39, I think there'll be an offensive lineman. At that point, I don't know if you're necessarily drafting the starter at left tackle at 39. You could be, but you are getting quality linemen again. And maybe you go edge rusher at that point, and then you fall a little bit later and you get another offensive lineman for depth, which is fine, but you're still getting a top 50 pick, for offensive linemen. Yeah, if Mason's there, I snap him. I have a hard time thinking he's going to get past Jacksonville. I really, especially with as much as Jacksonville's unloaded, it seems like they're retooling. I think someone like Mason, that they can build around him from the interior defensively, and they really need that anyway. So I don't see him getting past the Jaguars.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of defensive ends and defensive linemen,
James Pierce, Tennessee. Yes, love him. All things Vols. 447. I'm here
actually,
for that.
he is a bad mamma jamma.
Yes, he is.
Real talk.
Really
I know there's some homerism in there, but in real talk, that dude is a baller. That dude is a baller. Trey Hendrickson.
Yes.
All right. Has been allowed by the Bengals to go seek a trade.
Yes, he has.
And from reports on ESPN, from other outlets as well, I think it was CBS and Fox, they're asking a third-round pick for him. A third-round pick for a guy who had 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years. Granted, he's in the last year of his contract.
All right.
Should the Bears be in on Trey Hendrickson? And if so, are you good? Are you good to give up your third, or maybe your second, your 41st pick?
No, I would give up my third because you're getting a guy who's an instant starter. You don't have to worry about him developing. You have a guy who, again, as we talked about earlier, a player who's played with the former coordinator, in this case, Dennis Allen, who's now the defensive coordinator. So he knows the system, so to speak. So his integration into the defense will be minimal. It's just basically learning how to play with your teammates, but he knows exactly what's required of him schematically. And you have a guy who he won't have to bear the brunt of double teams because you got Montez on the other side. And I think it balances out. And for a team, the Bears, that is still struggling to find that classic defensive tackle who can penetrate and get upfield. And again, Allen's system is going to be a little bit different than what we've seen over the past couple of years under Eberflus. But you still have someone that can apply that pressure. Is good at the point of attack and hold. Is really good against the run. There's a quality, a guy that probably understands because, being in Cincinnati, playing in the state of Ohio, it's where the Hall of Fame is the MAC Conference. The Ohio State Buckeyes just won a national championship. There's a lot of football information and knowledge from that state and a lot of football history. I would say Hendrickson probably has a sense of that, and coming to a place like Chicago just reemphasizes that. And again, you could sell him on, hey, you're here. If you have any aspirations of going to the Hall of Fame, you can realize those dreams and hopes here because of what we do and what was allowed and the players you're playing with and the history that Chicago affords you and it being a major market. There's some nuances you can sell a player on that has nothing necessarily to do with the money part of it. And I think those are some things that Hendrickson may be looking for as he's getting towards the tail end of his career.
So 3, huh? No 2.
I wouldn't do 2. I would do 3. I might even offer something. Maybe you can swap positions and trading potentially if the Bengals want to move up a little bit, if that's a possibility, and you see something that may be there because, as you mentioned, Jackson Dart pushes everybody down when he moves up. So that's a possibility, or maybe even offer something from 2025. And here's the thing, too. Don't forget that there are things you can offer, especially for next year's draft, that you can kind of recoup when it comes to compensatory picks. You do well, and some of your players as they become free agents, and some of maybe even people on your coaching staff and your administration as they move on, there's a possibility you can get a late third-round pick, so you can kind of recoup that the following year. So yeah, I'm for that. And again, because we do have 2 second-round picks this year, and you're getting Hendrickson, you're really getting like a probably top 15 defensive player. And arguably,
that's why I was adamant about would you give up the second round pick?
I'd have to get something else back, either a later round draft pick or some money knocked off of him coming over, or there has to be something else that in the negotiations.
I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Yeah, you have to sell me on it a little bit, but I like to, as the Bears, I'd like to give you what I want to give you, and then maybe sweeten it a little bit from that end, as opposed to me give up something I don't really want to give up, because again, there are still some needs we need to address. Now, granted, you're getting him, so you don't necessarily have to draft that edge rusher per se, but you still need some offensive linemen. You still need, and here's the other thing too. There's still the running back part of it, and I know I mentioned you can get that a little bit later on. But if you're getting him, that may open your eyes, and maybe a particular running back that could be there. But here's the one thing that I've really been concerned about and hasn't been talked about as much is his safety. With Brisker having the concussion that he did and not coming back, that is concerning to me, because the way he plays, and I love his playing style, I love his intensity, I love him as a player. It lends itself to potentially that happening again. Which will be a shame. And it may, anything from retiring early to just being injured often enough to where it creates some disruption in the defense, especially in the secondary, and then going forward, it becoming a concern. You might be able to draft a really good a good safety from the secondary for this particular season. So I don't know. And there's the other thing too, with that second round pick you have, one of those two, you can trade down. That you can get more trading down by that than you can a third round pick. So I like to hold on to as many top 50 picks as possible. And again, you don't have to get Hendrickson. It's just, you try and see. If it doesn't work, that's fine. You still have other options.
There's a lot of free agents out there, a lot of big names out there. One of them would be a reunion. Khalil Mack. Give me your thoughts on the Bears re-signing Khalil Mack for that other red spot.
Yeah, there's a thing. I've never really redated or gone back again with an old girlfriend. Just hasn't happened. Hey, no hate, no dislike or anything like that. It's just it happened. Yeah, been there, done that. So
I think for the quickie, I just like, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, no, and he's on the tail end. No, I mean, if you want to get him in addition to maybe drafting an edge rusher, and then maybe he can kind of mentor him potentially, I could see that happening if that's your plan. If you get Khalil, I think you still need to draft an impactful edge rusher, and maybe you get that, with your 5th round pick, and maybe that can be someone that falls through the slides a little bit, and you're able to get him, and he can learn underneath behind Khalil. That's a possibility. But I don't know what you're really getting from him throughout the season. I think you'll have spurts, and again, if you utilize him, maybe he comes in on passing downs, and you get a little more usage and a little more length of the season. But that's you're doing this again, and you're hedging your bets, as opposed to go what you need to get, address that, and let's go do this. You don't see here's the thing. Do you see the Eagles doing that? No, they keep getting
draft well.
They draft well, but when they get their free agents, they're getting younger free agents. And even if they keep an older veteran, they still have someone at that same position who's youthful, who has that experience. And again, that's a veteran that's been on their team. That's someone that they're not going out and acquiring aging guys on the tail end of their career. I don't prescribe to that. You don't see the successful teams do that. You don't see the Chiefs doing that. Hopkins, that was kind of they were desperate, and that was in season. That's a little different. In off season, they didn't go after him. You see what I'm saying? You don't do that, because you're trying to play for now, but you also want to have that sustainability that gives you that flexibility going forward. Khalil doesn't offer that. He really doesn't. It's not like the NBA, where you're trying to get that last championship and you're the old man, you come on and you hang on at the bench, and you're Robert Parrish, and you come out for like 3 minutes and you block a shot and score 2 points. And everybody's like, hey, way to go, Chief. No, it's not that. Basketball, football, two entirely different entities when it comes to the aging vets being acquired off season on the team. So no, I'm not a fan of that. I like Khalil, God bless you. I think he's Hall of Fame bound, but no.
Another guy was just released today. Former teammate of Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, big defensive tackle, was released today. He is a free agent. Do you think you want to go in get into Jonathan Allen sweepstakes, because he's a lot younger? He is, I don't know, let me double check.
I think he's like 28.
Oh, he's 30. Sorry, he's 30.
Okay, 30.
He just turned 30, January 16th.
Okay.
So he's 30. He's a good solid 2 years. Hang on for a third.
I think if we weren't already paying Billings, maybe, and you don't want to neuter any of Gervon Dexter's continuous growth, although him playing next to Allen would be great for him. Someone like Allen, although he's 30, he's a difference maker enough that he can command enough money that the Bears might have to really think about it, because again, we're still talking about trying to get a free agent center. You're still having to dealing with Thuney going forward. He's going to want some aspects of his contract going forward renegotiated.
Right.
And then you still have your own free agents that you need to concern yourself with, not much this year, but going forward. So I think if we were a year ahead of where we think where we thought we could have been after last year, maybe I think we regressed a little bit. And with that regression, I don't quite see it. We haven't been the most creative when it comes to our cap flexibility in some respects, in terms of getting that significant talent. I mean, he's done a good job, Poles, as having enough cap space. It just seems somehow the creativity, we're good at dumping off money, but the Bears haven't really been good at paying enough of the right players for the money you still have remaining. Again, I don't know how much of a Ben Johnson is going to influence that. I don't know if that's really his forte, or if that's really his concern. Dennis Allen, he may have something to say about that. It's interesting. It's intriguing. I've always say, when you're playing Madden, do it, because you're dealing with funny money. I mean, it would be nice. But you have to imagine too, there's going to be, I won't say a bidding war, but there's going to be, it's not like the tariff war we're going through, but it's going to be some people out there that are going to probably outbid the Bears, and they may have something else to offer in terms of winning now and having, maybe he wants to have some success in terms of accolades when it comes to that hardware, that championship ring. And there's some other teams that, he may be able to slide to. I mean, Pittsburgh's getting a little long in the tooth. Maybe he goes there as a free agent. You look at somewhere like Dallas, they've had some issues with their defensive front. Maybe they sign him there. They've seen enough of him, as opposed to drafting a young guy to go through. And they've gotten rid of a whole bunch of money really by restructuring both Lamb and Prescott's contracts. So yeah, I think the Bears have other main concerns. Interior defensive lineman is not a concern. It's more of it needs to improve, but it's not a concern. I think the other edge rushing position, if you're going to go free agency, I think that, and I think focusing on Dahlman, I think those are two areas in terms of free agency I would like to see the Bears focus on and win those, whatever it takes, to win. I'm sorry, I take that back. Henderson's more of a trade, excuse me. But even with that, if you trade for Henderson, you're still going to have to offer him some money, because he's on that year-long, just 1 year contract. So I like to see the money distributed in that fashion. But man, it really is intriguing to have Jonathan Allen on the team, though. It would be nice. It's
intriguing to have him on a team. It's also intriguing to have Henderson on the team.
Now, okay. Yeah, now you're talking like you're really super expensive.
No, not both together. No, not both together.
Oh, okay.
That'd be
Either
crazy.
Okay.
Got 96 one on one end, and no. But I personally, I would, if I had my druthers, it would be Hendrickson.
I think so too.
Just because I believe Billings will be back. So I believe Billings can do what he did last year.
Gervon's getting better.
And
I think you draft a guy. I think you can potentially, draft a guy like Tyleik Williams may be there in the third round. If you didn't give up your third round pick to get Hendrickson.
But you get a guy like, dude, this guy had 17.5 sacks the last 2 years.
Yes.
All right.
And not just that. And I apologize for interrupting you. That's important, but it's the pressures. He's been atop some on the league in pressures and getting you bang for your buck over guys like, even some of the top guys in the league. So that's the pressures that I enjoy more, because that forces turnovers. It usually leads to mistakes being made that the defense can benefit and pounce on, particularly with the secondary that we have and the athletic pass catching linebackers that we have. We've seen with just a little bit of pressure what those guys can do in terms of creating turnovers and then making those turnovers either helping with the field position and or turning those into points. So the sacks, you stop the guy. The pressure, maybe it's a pick, you get the possession and maybe you get some points off of that. I enjoy the pressures a little bit more than the sacks, but yes, both are very good because if you need that sack, if you need to stop them at the end of the game, as opposed to double teaming Montez, you can't double team both those guys. And if you do have enough pressure up front with Gervon, impacting and pushing that offensive line back into the quarterback, and then the quarterback not having a way to get left or right outside because the pocket's being pinched in, then yeah, man, let's go for that. And he's got some length too. Henderson's been really good at batting down balls as well. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I'd rather take Henderson over Allen, and I'd rather get Dahlman and focus on that along with the moves they just made with the offensive lineman that they just acquired.
Yeah, I think the key there is Billings.
Yes,
Billings can continue to do what he did last year. Collapse the pocket from the inside. Where are you going to go?
Yeah,
where the hell are you going to go? If we get Hendrickson, you got him and Sweat coming where you can't step up.
Exactly.
All right, you can't step up, and